Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to knit a striped sweater for kids. I would like to make this in the size 4 year, but you can find the free written pattern for all size on my blog at the description below. And if you like this video, do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Now let's get started. You will need DK weight yarn in blue and white color. 3.75mm straight or circular knitting needles, 2.75mm straight or circular knitting needles, 2.75mm circular knitting needles, scissors, darning needles, stitch markers, and yarn holders. We will start with the ribbing of the front panel. Before starting, leave enough yarn to sew panels together and 2 long tail cast on. With 2.75mm straight or circular knitting needles and with blue yarn, cast on 108 stitches. Here I have a total of 108 stitches as well as a tail to sew later. Now I'm going to knit row 1. Knit first stitch here, then purl the next stitch. Knit next stitch, purl the next stitch. Repeat the pattern to knit 1 and purl 1 across. You should have 108 stitches in total. Repeat row 1 until row 13. Here I have 13 rows. Now I'm going to make the front body panel. Chain the needle to the 3.75mm and chain to the white yarn. To knit row 1, this is the right side of the panel. Knit first 3 stitches. Knit 2 together. Knit next 2 stitches. Repeat the pattern to knit 2 together and knit next 2 stitches until 1 stitch left. At the end of the row, knit the last stitch. Row 2 is the wrong side of the panel. We will purl across. You should have 82 stitches in total. At row 3, we are going to knit across. Repeat from row 2 to row 3 until row 81. Here I have 16 rows. I'm going to change to blue color at row 17. Just grab the blue yarn and continue to knit as usual. We will change color each 16 rows. This means we will change to white color at row 33, blue color at row 49, and so on. At row 82, purl across. At row 83, we will set up for the neckline and straps. First, we will knit 35 stitches for the left front strap. Then we will bind off tail stitches for front neckline center. At last, knit the remaining 34 stitches for the right front strap. Now we are going to make the right front strap. We're going to work on setup stitches for the right front strap only and leave the setup stitches for the left front strap on the needle. To make row 1, purl across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, purl 2 stitches together. You should have 34 stitches in total. To make row 2, knit 2 stitches together. Knit across. You should have 33 stitches in total. Repeat row 1 to row 2 two more times. To make row 7, repeat row 1. Place the stitch marker at row 6. To make row 8, knit across. You should have 28 stitches in total. To make row 9, purl across until 2 stitches left. Purl 2 stitches together. You should have 27 stitches in total. Repeat from row 8 to row 9 3 more times. To make row 16, knit across. To make row 17, purl across. To make row 18, knit across. To make row 19, purl across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, purl 2 stitches together. You should have a total of 23 stitches. Repeat from row 16 to row 19 one more time. To make row 24, knit across. To make row 25, purl across. You should have a 22 stitches in total. Slip stitches onto a stitch holder. Leave the yarn sew shoulders together. Then cut the yarn. Now we are going to make the left front strap. Attach yarn into the first stitch of the front neckline center. And now we will work on the setup stitches for the left front strap on the needle. To make row 1, this is the wrong side of your panel. Slip, slip, purl. Purl across. You should have 34 stitches in total. To make row 2, knit across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, slip, slip, knit. You should have 33 stitches in total. Repeat row 1 to row 2 2 more times. Place the stitch marker at row 6. To make row 7, purl across. You should have a total of 29 stitches. To make row 8, knit across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, slip, slip, knit. We should have 28 stitches in total. Repeat from row 7 to row 8 4 more times. We should have 24 stitches in total. To make row 17, purl across. To make row 18, knit across. To make row 19, purl across. You should have a total of 24 stitches. To make row 20, knit across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, slip, slip, knit into the last 2 stitches. We should have 23 stitches in total. Repeat from row 17 to row 20 one more time. To make row 25, purl across. Slip stitches onto a stick holder and cut the yarn. Now we will make the back panel. First, we will make the ribbon. This is the same as the ribbon of the front panel. Row 1 to row 3 are same as row 1 to row 3 of the front panel. Repeat from row 2 to row 3 until row 99. To make row 100, purl across. You should have 82 stitches in total. Row 101 is the setup row for the neckline and straps. Knit 26 stitches for the right back strap. Bind up 30 stitches. Knit 25 stitches for the left back strap. Now we will make the left back strap. Work on set of stitches for the left back strap only, and leave set of stitches for the right back strap on the needle. To make row 1, this is the wrong side of the panel. Purl across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, Purl 2 stitches together. You should have 25 stitches in total. To make row 2, this is the right side of the panel. Knit 2 stitches together, and then knit across. You should have 24 stitches in total. To make row 3, purl across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, purl 2 stitches together. You should have 23 stitches in total. Place the stitch marker at row 2. To make row 4, knit across. To make row 5, purl across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, purl 2 stitches together. You should have 32 stitches in total. To make row 6, knit across. You should have 32 stitches in total. To make row 7, purl across. Slip stitches into a stitch holder. Leave the yarn to sew shoulders together, then cut the yarn. Now we will make the right back strap. Tuck yarn into the first stitch of the back neckline center. Work on the self stitches for the right back strap on the needle. To make row 1, this is the wrong side of the panel. Slip, purl into the first 2 stitches. Then purl across. You should have 25 stitches in total. To make row 2, knit across until 2 stitches left. Then slip, knit into the last 2 stitches. So have 24 stitches in total. Place the stitch marker at row 2. To make row 3, purl across. To make row 4, knit across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, slip, knit. You should have 23 stitches in total. Repeat from row 3 to row 4 one more time. So have a 22 stitches in total. To make row 7, purl across. Slip stitches onto a stitch holder, then cut the yarn. Now we're going to make sleeves of the sweater with 2.75mm needles and with the blue color yarn, cast on 46 stitches. To make the first row, knit the first stitch, then purl the next stitch. Repeat to knit 1 and purl 1 across. You should have 46 stitches in total. Repeat row 1 until row 13. You should have 46 stitches in total. Now we will make the sleeve panel. Chain the needle to the 3.75mm and change to the white yarn. To make the first row of the sleeve panel, knit across. You should have 46 stitches in total. To make row 2, purl across. Repeat from row 1 to row 2 3 more times. To make row 9, knit 2, then make 1 right, then knit across until 2 stitches left. When there are 2 stitches left, make 1 left. And then knit 2. Repeat from row 2 to row 9 7 more times. To make row 66, purl across. Repeat from row 1 to row 2 two more times or until row 70. Bind off arm stitches. Leave the yarn to sew the sleeves to the armhole, then cut the yarn. Now arm panels have finished, we will sew the edges together. With the right side facing outwards, place the body panels on top of each other. Use the yarn left earlier, sew sides together using the Kitchener stitch. Sew the body sides together, leaving 5.5 inches or 46 rows at the top for the armhole. With the right side facing outwards, fold your sleeve in half lengthways. Sew the edges together using the matching stitch. Pin sleeves to the body. Use the yarn left earlier. Sew sleeves to the body. I use the matching stitch to sew one stitch to one row. Then sew one stitch to two rows. Repeat the pattern to sew one stitch to one row. Sew one stitch to two rows around. At last, we will make the neckline ribbing to finish the sweater. With the right side facing out, start from the middle part of the neckline center. Here is the V shape of a stitch, and I will pick up from the middle of the V shape here. Use the blue yarn and 2.75mm knitting needles to pick up each stitch until the last stitch of the back neckline center. Pick up the stitch under the decreased stitch. And here we are at the left shape. Here's the first stitch and the second stitch of two stitches knit together, and this is the V shape of the second stitch. In the next row, this is the second V shape, and this is the second V shape in the next row. And I'm going to pick up stitches from the middle of the V shapes. I'm going to pick up one stitch from each row until the marker. Remove the stitch marker. At the next row, which is both the two stitches knit together, I'm going to pick up from the middle of the first V shape here. Skip one row. Pick up each stitch from the next 3 rows. Repeat the pattern to skip one row. Pick up each stitch from the next 3 rows until the stitch marker. Pick up one stitch from each row until the last row. Pick up the stitch under the decreased stitch. At the front neckline center, pick up from each stitch until the last stitch. Pick up the stitch under the decreased stitch. At the right strap, pick up one stitch from each row until the stitch marker. Pick up one stitch from the next row. Skip one row. Pick up each stitch from the next 3 rows. Repeat the pattern to skip one row. Pick up each stitch from the next 3 rows until the stitch marker. Pick up each stitch from the next 2 rows. Pick up the stitch under the decreased stitch. At the back neckline center, pick up from each stitch until the end of the neckline. We should have 102 stitches in total. Place the stitch marker at the end of the round. To make round 1, knit the first stitch. Purl the next stitch. Repeat the pattern to knit 1 stitch and purl 1 stitch until the end of the round. You should have 102 stitches in total. Repeat round 1 until round 7. At round 8, bind off all stitches. Weave in all of your ends. I have finished the dry sweater. Thanks for watching. See you soon in the next video and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.